I've been working on my kitchen cabinets. I've got a little bit done. I've got here a drawer that I made for the cutlery actually. And I want to go over a little bit about how I make this drawer first, and then I'm going to show you how I make it look like it has dovetails. The way I'm building these drawers is I'm starting with 3/4 inch plywood for the bottom, which is different from a lot of guys. They'll use thinner stuff on the bottom. I find that the 3/4 will actually keep the drawer nice and flat and straight. Then I use thinner 1/2 inch plywood for the sides, front and back, and I edge band it with solid wood up on the edge here. So when you actually look at the drawer from the sides and inside, you don't see anything that looks like plywood. It all looks like solid wood. It's all put together just with butt joints that are glued, and I put a few brads in to hold it together until the glue dried. I also drove screws in the end here, a little bit more convenient. I actually didn't have my nail gun out here, and I just did that. Normally, I would drive 1 1/4 inch brads through, and that will hold it just fine. It's the glue that actually does the heavy lifting in this instance. I've got the drawer clamped down to my workbench table saw here, and here's my jig. Not a lot to it. I'm not going to go over the details on how to build this. If you want more, including all the dimensions, you can go to my website and check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. This goes on here. You just line it up with wherever you want the dovetail to be, and then you can clamp it in position from underneath. And then you can use the router with a dovetail bit to cut out the dovetail. Okay, well, it doesn't have to be very deep at all. In this instance, I only went in about 1 1/4 inches. If this was a deeper drawer, I'd go ahead and cut a couple more maybe, but the drawer size that I'm going to use will actually cover up any other ones that I do, so it's kind of a wasted effort. This one up here will really help to strengthen the box anyways, and I'm mainly doing this just for the sake of decoration. This is what you put in here, by the way. This is a strip of maple that I cut at 14 degrees each side. This is a 14-degree dovetail bit that I have, and that slips in there nice and snug. And then what I'll do is I'll plane that flush with the face of the box. There's also a drawer face going on this after, and then I'll glue it in. I do need one on the other side though, so I've got the jig set up again and the router ready to go. It's a little bit awkward at this height, but not too bad. As you can see, not a whole lot to it. Next up, I can put the actual dovetails in. All I need to do is get some glue in the slot itself and a little bit on the dovetail and spread it around a little bit with my finger and then slide it in until it is flush. Okay, all done. I actually added another couple on this side over here just to make it look good for the thumbnail. It takes no time at all. And in case you're wondering, yes, it does add a lot of strength to the joint. It acts in the same way as a normal dovetail will because it's doing exactly the same thing, except this is way easier. I mean, all you got to do is put the box together, get this jig made, and then you can do it. And you can choose different sizes also. In my case, I'm using a 3/4 inch dovetail bit, but you can use a smaller one and actually, make the jig wider so that it cuts out a lot more of it, or you can go with a very skinny one to begin with. A couple other things before I go. I'd like to mention that I have Patreon set up. If you would like to help support this channel, you can make a pledge. Any amount is welcome. If you don't want to, that's fine also. It's there for anyone that feels that what they're getting out of this is worth, $1 a month, $2 a month, whatever you can afford, whatever you want to pay. No problem with me. Doing this is fairly expensive. You might be noticing a difference in the video look. That's because I'm using a new camera. My camera I was using up until this point for the past year broke. I've got it sent out for warranty repair, hopefully, but that could take 4 to 6 weeks. So I had to go out of pocket again and buy another camera. So I figured I'd try something a little bit different this time and see if I like it. Patreon is pretty good. I'm putting exclusive content on there now, videos. I've got one on there so far, and I'm hoping to make it a regular thing, at least once a month, to put a video, especially for the people that, go into their pocket and help me out here. There are other ways to help me out, and that's to visit my website, which is jam-packed with all of the projects that you see in video form. There's more detail on there. Also, you could buy a plan. That really helps me out. That's probably the best way to help me out, actually, is to buy one of the plans that I spent hundreds of hours making and costs, very little, actually, for what you get. The last thing I want to mention is that I have 2 other YouTube channels. The first one is very similar to this one, except I go into a lot more detail in the videos. They're longer, usually broken up into parts. If it's a big project, I just finished making a backyard barbecue grill, wood burning, and that's a 2-part video. Before that, I did 6 or maybe 7 videos on building the quick and dirty sawmill that I made another video for this channel. The videos that I'm making for this channel are a little shorter, a little tighter edited, and usually don't go into that much detail. So if you're interested in more detail, say if you're a beginner, new to this kind of thing, that second channel is probably the place you want to be. My other channel is a home reno channel. I originally started it as a kind of a video journal of the renovations that I'm doing on my house. And it's kind of evolved into a more general type thing. I'm getting ready to start a kitchen cabinet series on there, actually, because I'm building my kitchen cabinets right now. And that's going to take a while, but videos covering that will start showing up soon on that channel. So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to subscribe to that one. Anyway, I'll wrap this one up here. Just want to mention again that if you're interested in building this very simple jig, the dimensions for this one will be on my website. The only thing you'll generally have to change is the distance between these 2 strips here to suit the base of your router. You can actually make those adjustable too if you want to. I didn't make mine adjustable because I'm only interested in making that one dovetail.